And that meeting was a key factor to that success of that day. And I'm just thankful for Kyle, man. It was crazy. He like came out of nowhere from the training room. And it was like, man, his aura was still being hurt. His aura was still there, right? Oh, shoot. Like, he's like, don't ever wear no skinny jeans to my meeting again. I was like, man, I love skinny jeans. I love being a fly. We talked about Ricky a little bit. And he was like, look, we found Ricky a best friend. But early in his career, he was talking like, you ain't gonna get no catch today. I was like, dang, my boy, are you serious?
Welcome back to the Richard Sherman podcast. And we got an incredible guest today, Kendrick Bourne. He needs no introduction, been killing this season. 15 receptions for 284 and 12 first downs in the last two games. BR, what's good, baby?
What up, Sherman, man? Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate the welcome. Like you said, I don't need a welcome, man. I can feel the energy through the screen from you. It's been good last few weeks, man. It's been fun, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing better now. I'm doing better.
Yes,
I'm right where I
sir.
need to be. I'm right where I need to be, man. You've been killing, but I'm gonna take it back to when I first met you in 2018. And you, and you know, I call you BR, because they say you're born ready. That's what they say, but I said something else.
That's an inside joke.
That's an insider. That's one way to put it. Insider. But I don't think I've ever told you this, but you changed the way I saw preparation for a football game.
Wow.
You changed the way I thought about it, because I always thought you had to be so locked in and so like, you know what I mean, headphones in, everybody's serious. And you used to be dancing and your energy is crazy and smiling and laughing. And I used to be like, bro, he ain't locked in at all. he ain't tripping about nothing. That boy, and then you would go out there, snag, clutch catch. I'm like, okay, maybe it's a different way to do it. Maybe it's more than one way to skin a cat.
Wow.
I promise you. I used to think you had to be serious. You had to be headphones on, and if you wasn't, you wasn't gonna play well. And you changed that whole perspective for me. I said, this man's energy is different, and I love it.
Bro, I really appreciate that, bro. Like, that's an honor to hear, bro. Like, even these last years, like later, us seeing each other again, like you saying that's an honor, bro. And it goes to just enjoying the game, being young back then, you saw me back then being a young guy, just trying to make a name, just enjoying the game, enjoying it, not really understanding, how certain people operate. Like you said, you operated more like lock in. And I was just doing it how I thought was how to do it. And it works for me. And everybody works different, but it really was like an exciting time for me. Just getting in the league, being young. I was really just enjoying it. But it's always been my personality, and it worked for me. It kept me loose. It kept me in a mindset of like, hey, this is a kid's game, just enjoying it. And so it was really a fun time for me back then. But also to even hear how you say, like, you do have to have a professional side and like a silly side too. It works both ways. So I've learned, even getting older, maturing more, like, hey, you do have to have a sense of locking in at a certain time when it gets closer. So as I got older, I started to learn how to tame it a little bit, still be myself, but also engage that side of what you're saying, like having that locked in mode. So it was a good time that I did how it was. And then as I got older, I've learned how to balance it. You know what I'm saying? It's a business and you got to know how to carry yourself, but it's also good to have that side to it too. So it's just been a journey, man.
But it's also something about, bro, your energy and your positive energy and your just constant, like, vibrant energy is something that elevates the team. You know what I mean? And I think they're speaking to it right now, that they've missed, and you don't appreciate it or understand you're missing until it's gone. You know what I mean? It's like something, a part of an engine. You're like, well, if we take this away, it won't matter that much. You could just replace it with a similar part, but you don't understand how massive that part is, and how the energy you bring into that building affects so many people around you. And I think people are appreciating it now, and I'm happy to see that.
That's fire. And that's exactly, I didn't really understand it either. That's what's amazing. Obviously I went to New England, left for a little bit, and it was different. It was a different world for me. And it's funny how you say how you operated, when you warmed up, and then I did. It's almost like when I was in San Fran, I was like free, but then when I went to New England, it engaged that side of me, that blue collar, like, oh shoot, like they operate different over here. So I was bringing my energy into that, and it kind of got settled in, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of like adjusted to my environment. So I wasn't, I would say, as vibrant as you say, because my energy does affect. And I think that was something that I kind of like, kind of lost, not lost, but like I was just in a different space. So coming back, what you're saying was just amazing. Like I even missed it in what you're saying. So I'm able to pour out more into like this environment. It's just different. You know, you experience different things. Every place is different. But I definitely didn't understand how big it was and how much I have to like enjoy that because it feeds myself too and like how I operate in a crazy way. But I definitely see that the organization appreciates it being back so far. You know, Kyle and John and them, they've been saying it, man. So it's been fun. It's been dope so far.
Bro, you're a dope human being. You're a
Thanks,
dope human
bro.
being. And another part I want to say that I noticed, and I made sure to comment every single time I saw you wear a suit or anything. I said, look, I remember when BR used to come in the building totally different than this. I said, I don't know who this is.
Uh,
Unusual.
and that's a part of the growth. Like what you've been talking about. And you've always given me good advice to like how to carry myself, little gems here and there. But you never was the type to like shut it down. You always would just give little gems of like, hey, sprinkle this in, you know, fix this up. And it goes into that maturity and that growth. And my agent is a big one that was like, man, you need to stop just wearing whatever you want. You gotta look presentable. You gotta, you know, show you care about it. And I think the suits, they really do a big thing for just what you're saying. Like I'm about business. Like I am who I am. I'm goofy. I'm silly. But when I step in between the white lines, like I'm about business. And it's something that you have to learn and you got to really like, it may seem little, but it's big. So the suit thing, man, has been fun and it does do something to you mentally. When you suit up, you like, oh yeah. Like you even feel it. So it's been dope, man, just growing up. But being myself has been fun, man. But it's little things that go a long way.
And let's just talk about the team because you come in
Mhm.
when you come in, Mac Jones is all of a sudden he's the starter for a little while because obviously the injury to Brock, and you guys have instant chemistry from New England. I witnessed it myself when they brought me in on a Sunday night, and young BR was in New England trying to run dig routes. I said, oh,
What a time.
what a time! What a time!
It's funny. So like, yeah, Mac, it was crazy. Like, it's even ironic now how we're together, man. God put us together and he worked it all out. And so, you know, you never know what's gonna happen in life. You never know what the journey's gonna bring. So just trusting the plan, going, working, being prepared for your opportunity. That's kind of what's been happening with me. When I went to New England, like I changed how I ate and worked and took care of my body. Like I went through so many changes over there. And obviously I was with Mac his rookie year. And so not even like understanding 4 years later what would be, but just going through life, going through times of change. And that's what it was when I left here and going over there and meeting Mac. And we instantly hit it off too. Like he was behind Cam Newton at that time. And Cam was kind of coming back from like trying to resurrect his time and stuff like that. And Matt ended up getting a job and stuff like that. And then we just kind of connected. We were connecting more and more. Obviously got paid and stuff like that. So I had a role in things and we just were connected. We just were connected and you could feel it. And it started to show on the field. And then fast forward over. Well, I'll talk about our game, which was funny. So seeing you out there with this crazy, he was like, man, you gonna keep running these things. And it was a crazy time, man. Even seeing you like in that uniform, man, just seeing you everything, like our connection and stuff was just crazy. Tom Brady, just a crazy time playing out there with some legends like you, yourself, and Tom. It's amazing, man. That atmosphere was crazy in itself and just a fun time. But like you said, you could see the connection that we had, which was amazing. So coming over here, him having his opportunity, me getting mine, it's like you almost can't write it, bro. And I'm like, man, God, like, thank you, good, God, like, appreciate it. Like, it's a blessing. And but it all goes into the preparation before, prior to like me being here. Because if I come out here not ready, body physically not ready, mentally not ready, Matt mentally not ready, not physically ready, they're not gonna have these last 2 weeks that we have. You know, we're not gonna be prepared for it. It would have probably passed us by, but it goes into the work of prior years and all the buildup. And it's crazy how it's happening. But It's definitely ordained, and I'm happy about it, man. So
Man,
gotta keep it
I'm
going.
so happy for you. And you
Well,
even
thank
had
you.
some adversity.
Mm.
It hasn't always been smiles and rainbows when you came back. You had the drop on third down, and we in an instant, gratification, but an instant tear you down world as well. And I know how hard that was for you, and
Mhm.
it was on a short week. And
Mhm.
and you got a pinned tweet says, "Let the criticism help you, not affect you." Talk about it.
Mm. Mm. Everything that you go through is for a purpose, and that's truly what I believe. So there's no growth in comfort. There's only growth in like adversity and hard times. You change how you think, you change how you operate, you change how you view things. And in that game, it was my first game with Brock too. So I'm like, I want to help play with Brock. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling it like I want to make it look good, and it just didn't go our way. It just everything was going left. I had 3 drops in the game, and I'm just like, bro, like what is happening? And so it was the adversity. So after the game, taking the L, shout out Eric Armstead. It was almost like his day, which was,
It
which
was his
was crazy.
revenge game,
It
baby.
was his revenge, which was, what I'm saying, the energy was, you could feel something was off, which is crazy. Shout out to the guy. But after the game, I was just like, you self-evaluate after every game like athletes supposed to do. And we got to keep it real with ourselves. Like, so I'm like, all right, I could have been in better spots. It was a weird game, but I could have made the catches. That's what I do know. Like, or I
Sure.
make those catches all the time. So why didn't I make them? Bad eyes, trying to run before I catch the ball. You know how I get. I be ready to
Well,
run. You
well,
can't go
you
nowhere
got
without it.
excitable.
Can't go nowhere without the ball. And so
Hey,
little things like that you watch the film, you evaluate, and the next week, like you said, had a short week, and it was eating at me though, man. I'm like, oh, I gotta make up. And then you kind of doubt yourself sometimes. You're like, well, how's it gonna be? Am I gonna have another bad game? But you gotta have more belief than doubt. You gotta know who you are and like your foundation and stuff like that. So warm-ups that game in LA it was funny. I was really like looking in the balls, kind of acting different. I'm like, I kind of don't like this. Like, I'm acting out of character. But it was good because I was like feeling it. Like, hey, don't run from it. Don't be scared of it. Like, lock in. Like, it's kind of what you started the podcast with. Sometimes you got them days where, hey, I can't be too silly right now. Last week, I'm out there dropping that thing. It's this week, what I'm saying? You ain't smiling as much, but it's different times you go through. So that's like what I've learned too and what you're saying of how you operate. And I was just looking the ball in through the week, and I had the game that I had, obviously, but it's kudos to like believing, always believing in yourself, understanding that, I've been doing this for a long time. And to have a short week was a blessing too, because you ain't got to think about it for 4 more days. You got 3 days. And it
look,
was no great game, man. Breakout game for us was huge.
I want to talk about Kyle Shanahan and his belief in you because he got a
Mm,
different belief in you too. And I was in the team
mm.
meeting where he threw his criticism at you. I wasn't in every meeting that week. I'm sure he
Mhm.
got in your hindquarters a little bit. I know how Kyle is, but he gave you fair criticism, but also spoke belief into you and spoke faith. He said,
Wow.
"KB, I know you can do this. You know what I mean? I know you catch this and take it out the back end." He said you would have got caught at the red zone, but whatever. But he believes you could do it,
Absolutely.
and and I think there's something to that to say, hey, I know what happened, but I also know the man you are. This isn't who you are. This isn't what I believe you are. I know you better, and I'm gonna feed you. And he fed you that game, and it was
Mm.
cool.
And it's great coaching. That's exactly what it is. You wanna build your players up. And you know, the game is all about coaching. I can't be the player I want to be if I'm not coached to be successful. Like, and it's not easy to be a coach. Like, I can tell, like, they going through a lot trying to put me in position to be successful. They never know what's going to happen. But in that meeting, I felt that. I felt the encouragement, the coaching, the criticism, the constructive criticism. It's important. And like, he not like, well, we gonna give up on you, and you next person. Nah, it's like, no, I've seen it. We have a relationship. He gave me my first opportunity, and that meeting, it really hit home for me, man. And that was a big part of the success of the LA game, because he talked about that the day before the game. Like, it's not like it was, like you said, we already had our meetings prior. So this is a build up and like showing you, hey, I believe in you. And when you got the belief of the coaches, you got the belief of the organization, your teammates, it don't matter about what the fans say. The fans don't, what you saying. They'll put you up and they go tear you down. So you can never get caught up over there. You got to focus on internally in the building. And that meeting was a key factor to that success of that day. And I'm just thankful for Kyle, man. He really knows what he's doing. He knows personalities. He knows how to connect, and it goes deeper than football. And that's why you see the success he's been having in his coaching career.
No question. And speaking of players, man, we lost Frederico. Like, oh, talk about how the locker room is taking that, man. That was hard to watch in every possible way.
And like the injury itself is tough. We was talking about it, like, you see a guy go in the tent, hamstring pull, you like, I don't really know what happened. And then he may go off, lead the field, but it's like, all right, he might be all right. But to see how gruesome it was just, it hurt. And to see who it was, what you're saying, him playing that many consecutive games, about to break the record, all those things was like, oh my goodness, like out of anybody. And he gave us some good words after the game. It was crazy. He like came out of nowhere through from the training room. And it was like, man, his aura was still being hurt. His aura was still there, right? Oh shoot. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You just when somebody different, And so he walked out on the crutches and the room was just silent, man. But that's the power he holds and the weight he carries. And he just told us not to worry about him. And the way he works on the field, he's going to attack the rehab. But it took the life out of us in that game. It was a tough time. I love the way we still battle, but it's just a lot of adversity we facing, and it's going to show who we are, who our backups are. Like now, it's ops for other people, and I go back to me and Mac Jones. We were kind of ready for our op, and it's showing. So whoever is behind Fred, whoever is behind whoever gets down, who are you? Are you going to step into your time? And that's kind of we want to focus on that because it's hard to keep mourning, bro. Because it's Brent Warner, which is head. We can mourn for the rest of the year. And that's what he said out his mouth during when he talked to us after the game was like, hey, don't worry about me. Like, and it helps us and me even talk like this because it came from his mouth and it's real.
Right, right. And you know it's real, and you know what that's really what he means, and you know that as soon as that man can be back, he gonna be back. And
Ooh.
I don't think it's gonna be this season, but they say 3 months, and 3 months don't seem like the end of the season for this team. And if that there's a
Mhm.
will, there's a way. We I've seen some crazier things happen in this game, but
Mhm.
take me back to Easter.
Mhm.
We're gonna switch. I know Junebug, so I know Junior Adams. So I know some things about young KB that everybody else don't know. But you also got to play with Cooper Kupp, and you
Correct.
got low key Eastern didn't put him out.
You,
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. So it's
Tell
been
me
it,
about y'all relationship and playing with him and the growth you've seen from him, the growth you've seen from yourself.
yeah, that was a huge time in my life, obviously. Being a young guy, leaving high school, I was very, very had a strict dad, strict parents, no partying, no moving around, none of that. So when I got to college, I was kind of free, like, oh man, like living in the dorms. Oh, I'm acting a fool now. Oh, great. And you know what that creates. That's a problem when you're not mature. Everybody matures differently. There's some people that leave high school and are very mature, but I'm not one of them dudes. I'm like, bro, I didn't get to party all high school when my dad was tripping. Bumping was hard. And so just got into the lifestyle, just got into it, got into drinking, got into everything. And it was just a tough life. Ended up having a baby young and college and things like that. So just moving fast, needed to slow down. And that's where Coop was very influential in my life. Like he was very mature. Like Coop knew he was going to the league like his freshman year. I'm like, I don't know how he knew, but it was the work that he was put. And it was like who he was. You know what I'm saying? He was more mature. And I remember one time it was our senior year, and I had senioritis, bro. I'm like, man, I'm going to the league too. Like, I ain't worried about none of that. I don't know how I'm going to the league. Well, I knew it was real delusional, but I knew. But he came to me one day. It was during summer, and I wasn't going to no 7-on-7s. I was just like, man, I'm good. Season year, we gonna cook. I was having good years prior, like my junior year, I was balling. But then senior year, he came to my house. He's like, man, I need you to get to where I'm trying to go. And I was like, oh, you need me? No, I need you. But like it really hit. It really hit. Like he's saying this for a reason. Like, why is he saying this? And he understands, you know, a duo and we had another guy named Shaq Hill. We had a good big three receiver group, and we have potential, but who can't do it by itself? Nobody can do it by themselves. And it really hit home for me. And I was like, oh man, like it's bigger than I think. It's bigger than how little I'm making it. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm like, oh shoot.
Mhm.
And so after that, I really locked in, man. Ended up having my best year, but a lot of it goes towards him and the standard he held himself to and held our room to. And he had a lot of recruits out of college coming to look for him and stuff. So he gave me the opportunity to be seen by scouts. And it was just a blessing in itself to be around him. And moving on to the league, you know, like he still influences me now, like balling, triple crown, like so he's holding himself to the same standard. And I've always admired it, man. Like, okay, how can I be like? And I didn't have the same kind of career. I'm just trying to build myself up in the league and things like that. But it's inspiring, and this is somebody that I'm close to. I'm like, okay, I've been around. I can do things like that, and believe in like that. It may not go like that all the time, but kind of what's happening to me now is kind of those numbers. It's kind of crazy. So I'm like a late
Talk
bloomer.
about late
I'm a
bloom,
late
but I'm a
bloomer.
bloom though.
No, that's a real thing, though. That's a real thing. Some people, your career may struggle in your first 2 years, 3 years, but then year six, bro, it might be your time. And so are you ready for it? Are you prepared for it? And I'm not trying to, you know, predict none or anything, but it has been time. I've been developing, I've been growing, I've been changing mentally, spiritually, physically. All these things are happening. So my time is kind of now to maximize in year nine, like that took me
Right.
9 years
Right. Hey,
going
I
through
know dudes
injury.
who ain't made a Pro Bowl till year 9, and then they was
Ooh.
perennial.
Oh, wait. And that's where it goes to Coop. Like, he inspires me in that way, and it's dope. So, and Junebug was he was my coach my freshman year, and he was very influential. He ended up getting better jobs, but he was very influential. I remember I got a story about June. It was the receiver meeting I was late to, man. I was like scrambling. I don't know what I was doing, but I always used to want to get fly to go to school. I was like, you know, I will get dressed,
Right. Right.
same
Right.
thing,
Right. Right.
trying to
Same
be
thing.
fly, trying to be seen. And I go to the meet. I was coming to the meetings dressed, and he never said nothing. But this day, he got on me, and I was knocking on the door. They was in the room, but I was late, and they were in the room. And he told everybody, he's like, be quiet, and I'm like, hey, I'm like trying to listen through the door. I'm like, they got to be in here. This is our room. And I ended up just running around, went to the locker room. And he's like, where are you at? He's like, where was you at? I was like, bro, I was at the door. And he's like, see, he's like, I had to teach you a lesson because all you try to do is worry about being dressed, being fly, this and that, you know, focused on the wrong things. And he had a good point. He's like, don't ever wear no skinny jeans to my meeting kid. I was like, man, I love skinny jeans. I love being fly. But I had to tame different things that I need to learn. And after that, bro, I used to still get fly, but I used to go home before the meeting, or to the locker room, change, get ready for the day, and be locked in. So all that time at Eastern was very important for where I'm at now. Little things that you learn from people that you encounter, and it's just huge for where I'm at right now, man.
It's really cool to see, man, and it's cool to see full circle moment your relationship with Ricky. And y'all the way y'all kind of
Mm.
immediately hit it off, and you could see like you breathing life into him. I'm sure you giving him great advice. The maturity I'm hearing in this conversation in itself, I can't imagine how much impact you're having on him.
I talked to Kyle today. I could tell our day off. Had a conversation with Kyle, and he was talking about we talked about Ricky a little bit, and he was like, "Look, we found Ricky a best friend," and just the dancing on film because we be getting caught on film all day. Like it may look bad, but it's a connection. What you're saying, it's gonna now we're not competing with each other. We're helping each other. We're competing with other teams. It's always the competition in the NFL within the building. Yes, we're competing every day. We know this, but how do we separate that? And it's hard to do because I got my own personal goals. Ricky got his personal goals. Everybody got their personal goals. We trying to take care of our family. We trying to be great, trying to get some trophies and stuff back there like you. So you know what I'm saying? We're trying to do things, but how do we separate it for the bigger goal? And I think that's what's happening between me and Ricky. Like Ricky knows he's enjoying, he's having fun, he's young. It's almost like he's not even in year two. Like the way he's playing and like moving, I'll be telling him, like, bro, you playing like you've been playing for 6 years. Like,
Right.
but he can feel that like genuineness of it, like the realness of it. I'm not saying it from a place of, well, yeah, just gassing him up, flattering him. No, bro, I really admire it, bro. Like it's different, bro. And like he was saying it too. He's like, bro, when you're in the huddle with me, it's like I can feel the energy and everything. So it's very genuine, man. I'm excited to like for him to be back too. I was even telling him, like, I got my opportunity because you was down, bro. Like, once you get back, you know what I'm saying? We don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm excited to have you back because the energy's needed and he's one of one, bro. So he's gonna be a special player in his upcoming years.
Yeah, it's gonna be he put on some great tape, and I
Mm-hmm.
love what I'm seeing from him. Obviously, he had the issue early in his career, the gunshot, and thank God he survived that. But I've
Yes.
really liked what I've seen from him. What's the mindset going into the game against Atlanta this week? Obviously, they came out with a big win against the Buffalo Bills. It's Sunday Night Football. BR is the star. They might even have BR on a graphic. I'm thinking they might even catch him on a graphic this week. Sunday Night Football. He got Kendrick Bourne, Eastern Washington. He got a touchdown.
No, it's gonna be a good game, man. Those boys played in a big game last night. Obviously, I watched it too, man. You could see B. John and them, man. The defense flying around, bro. They got some good guys over there. Good scheme, good coach. They just you could tell they're changing the culture around over there, and that's what was needed over there. And Kyle got relationship with the Falcons, so it's gonna be spicy. It's going, you know what I'm saying? It's stirred up already, and I'm excited about it. That's what you want to play on. You want to play on, under the lights and under in prime time and stuff like that. So it's exciting, but it's a challenge for us, man. Like after I didn't really know about him too until last night. Like I was like, okay, this is a team. You look on the schedule, yeah, how everybody do. Strength of schedule. We could get this one. We could, but then it started. We in week 6. It changed quick from week 1. Quick.
It's
Dude,
looking different.
I'm telling you. So like watching last night, I'm like, they just played the Bills, who the top dog, and you could see the Bills. They're like they know they're the top dog, so that's where it get tricky. And we're considered a top dog right now, and you gonna get teams best at all times. So I feel like for us, we need to understand that, like evaluating that game last night, not trying to feel like we better than anybody, respecting the opponent, coming in with the right mentality, playing ahead of the sticks and stuff like that. Like it's super important. So on offense, I think that's the kind of things we need to do. Defense, obviously they got a challenge, missing Fred, missing both of big guys, but it's an opportunity and for the next person up and for our team to show we can still get things done even when we're going through adversity.
Yeah, it definitely is an opportunity. It's a cool
Yeah.
opportunity, showcase, prime time again. We got 5 quick ones before I let you out of here. Who was the receiver you looked up to growing up?
The receiver, bro, crazy thing. I looked up to Odell Beckham.
Wow.
He crazy, right? Like, but thinking about Odell, even what he's going through now, praying for him, man, it's tough times for him right now. He's trying to get back in. I hope he get back because he's one of my favorite. But he was very influential on me. Just his era and the age I was at, like,
Mhm.
being high school, being, seeing him like turning up, everything, the showcasing was just dope. So he was somebody that I really looked up to. And that's where some of the antics be coming from. Like, you got to be an entertainer, bro. Odell's one of the best entertainers in football. And it's a market in that. It's important, but you got to be a baller too. So he was somebody that I've always looked up to, man. I've admired, bro. And it's a
BR,
funny one because I'm close.
I can't imagine if they would have gave you the light they gave Odell. I cannot. BR, you would have ruined your life.
I still be acting up. No, for real, bro. Odell's in a
Um,
whole different stratosphere, bro. It's crazy.
yeah, he's
Crazy.
a A-list celebrity right
I'm
now.
telling you.
Um, who's the toughest corner you've gone against in the league?
Mm. So I always be between Darius Slay and
Big play.
Patrick Peterson.
Okay.
But them were my favorites. Them was my favorite too. But I gotta give it to Pat P. He was the most like intimidating. Like before you go that week, you like, oh bro, I need to see what he been doing. And I caught him around his later years, so he wasn't as crazy, but he was very smart. The instincts was crazy, and you couldn't like no plays off. You couldn't do a lazy route, things like that. So I have to give it to Pat P.
No question. No question. I love that answer. Favorite touchdown celebration? See, that's a hard one for you because you,
Oh yeah,
you be jiving.
Fuku though. My favorite one. I would have to say the New Orleans Saints. I had
Hmm.
2 touchdowns, and the second one was funny because the first one was funny because I did a dance but all our teammates was pushing me, so I couldn't finish it. I'm like, hey, he's my me right now. Everybody stop. No moment. But they like pushed me, so I like stumbled. And then Emmanuel Sanders, we did our handshakes, and that was fun. Then I had a second one where they kind of knew. I was like, hey, if I get back in there again, I know y'all excited, bro, but get a little straight. And I ain't like a little dance. And I was cutting up, bro. So that was top dog.
Y'all scored a lot of points that day. You was cutting up.
What? That was a big game too, bro. That was a big game.
That was a rough game for us. I remember I looked at that scoreboard. I said, ugh. Ugh. Yeah.
Figure it out.
It was in that play, on that plane, like
shootout.
Pre-game hype song.
Pre-game hype song. So I got a pre-game hype song. It's a gospel rap song by Kendrick Bourne. It's called where's my phone?
Is that the one you put on your story or on your picture
on my Instagram?
Yeah.
I don't know. It might have been. Hold on. It's called Slight Reverend. So it's a good song. It's a good song. Give me hype. Give me in that mode. Give me a little good. Feed my spirit, but give me hype at the same time. So Kendrick Bourne, y'all check him out.
Kendrick Bourne. Shout out from KB. And best trash talker you faced?
Best trash talker I faced. Jalen Ramsey.
Okay.
Jalen Ramsey, he the worst, bro. He was the worst. He's better now. He's quiet. He's more quiet now. He's cool. But early in his career, he was talking like you ain't gonna get no catch today. I was like, dang, my boy, are you serious? He was all I don't know exactly what he said, but he was talking though. He was talking. So J Ram got it.
No, man. Well, I appreciate you, BR, man. I'm so
man.
grateful for you and
you,
getting to see you in this space and getting to see the growth and being a witness to your journey and being a small part of that journey. It means a lot to me.
Thank you, Sherman. Appreciate it, man. Love the podcast, man. Like I said, love the trophies. Appreciate you supporting me, man. It's big.
Always love, brother. Have a good game this week, and I'll check in with you.
Thank you, bro.